Hi, most gentlemen. Welcome back. We gotta talk. Seriously, I just want to talk to you right now. Hang out. Haven't hung out with kind of no purpose on the camera for a while. So if you want to hang around with me, chill out. Have a protein shake, whatever it is. Then let's go. Let's jump in. First thing I want to talk about is just what I think a lot of us are missing, and what I find. The reason I say this is because I find this in myself. I find that there's something that seems to be missing. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I think that thing is simply what I say to you guys here on this channel all the time is thumos. If you look at the definition of thumos, it just means spiritedness. And I find that as I get older, as I am growing up, that there's a lack of sometimes this thumos in my own life. And you may be thinking, dude, but you are thumos. Like, you're the guy. Sometimes, but not all the time. And that's just the reality of it. And when I really take a look at what that is, man, it's that spirit that is in man that makes you feel like whatever you need to do, you can do it. You are the one to do that thing. No one else, not your mom, not your dad, not your friend, not someone from the government, not anyone else. It's up to you. And there's this sense of, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. So this actually came to me from a guy talking with a guy in our group. I'm not going to say his name, but if you're in the group, you know. And I love this dude. He's in the UK. We got a bunch of UK bros. We got guys all over the world. And he said that there was this girl in his shop. And he was helping her out. And she was kind of smiling at him. They were hitting it off. And he really liked her. He liked the interaction. He thought she was sexy. But that's it. She left. Nothing happened. And I said, dude, did you get her number? And he said, no. I was in front of some other coworkers were around, and he didn't get her number. And so I said to him, man, like, are you going to keep living like this? Are you going to live the rest of your life like this, where you let stuff like this slip through your hands? Because in reality, you are a man, and part of being a man is that we go out and we figure things out. We set our eyes upon something, and then we make that a reality. You actually have to feel this in your bones. So I want you to feel this in your bones. Because once you get this in your bones, and it's not just an idea, it actually changes how you live your life. You can't be a man that is always following the rules and living the status quo. Being a man means that you got to break some rules. Being high thumos means that you have to have spiritedness to take risk. And that's literally all it is. It's this willingness to figure things out when the going gets tough. And it's the ability to fail and keep going, even when you fail. And the failure is what gives you confidence. And when I say failure, it's like you're okay making a fool out of yourself. You're okay embarrassing yourself. That's okay. And you're okay asking that girl for a number, even if she rejects you. And that's a win, because that teaches you what to do next time. And it gives you courage to do it again, because you realize that all of this fantasy world that you had built up in your head, and how difficult it was going to be and how much anxiety it was going to be, you realize it's all false and it's a lie. And you see, that spiritedness, though, is being squashed out in a lot of us, myself included. It's a daily battle. And I believe this is the fight of our lives, because if we don't get it together, we're more easily controlled, we're manipulated, we're more dependent, and we're more likely to go with what other people tell us to do. Each one of you has a spirit inside of you. that has power, and it's not filled with fear. This is your God-given right, man. This is your God-given right. It's not fearful. It's not afraid. You may experience some of that, but that's just part of doing things that are new and that actually are risky. So that's normal, but your spirit is something that wants to go out, it wants to conquer, it wants to achieve. You got to really tap into that as you get older, and we got to reclaim that. That's part of masculinity. That's part of being who we are. And so what happens is, as the world progresses and we watch content and we see different things, we don't know it, but we're increasingly getting filled with fear. And we're being sedated, I think is a good word, because we don't really know that it's happening until it's too late. There were some men in history that had such bravado and courage to tackle unknown obstacles and to go to places that were risky and to even risk death itself. And yet we have guys that are so afraid to post their face on the internet because their job is going to fire them. And if you can't do that, I mean, what kind of job are you even working at? If you're building a brand online, do you really want to do you really need your job? Is it really that important? Why are we so afraid to quit and leave things behind? Why are we so afraid to not take risk and go get the number? Why are we so afraid to, if we hate our jobs, quit? Yeah, seriously, quit. Put yourself in a corner. The death ground strategy. And then what happens? You're forced to come up with new ideas. Most of us aren't taking action because we don't need to take action. Because life is too damn comfortable. And we complain because we are miserable. But that's just cope, because we're not going to do anything about it. So if you catch yourself complaining and unhappy, and you catch yourself in a place where you're not getting what you want, it's because you're giving your energy away to other people. That could be a boss, that could be a female, that could be your parents. You're still living at your parents' home. You're too afraid. I can't move out in COVID. I can't move out during these times. It's so uncertain. Yes, you can, dude. And you need to. Because when you do it, you'll figure things out. And you need that heart about you. You need that spiritedness about you if you're going to make yourself anything in this life. Because without it, you won't take the risks necessary to rise above mediocre, to rise above mediocrity, and to not just be average. I mean, that's just the truth of it. And a lot of us, we talk about this all the time. In reality, it's very hard. It's hard to go against the grain. It's hard to do something else. That's one of the reasons in my group, I mean, that's my goal for the men. And that's kind of my, I feel obligated to bring the mindset always back to that. Because when it starts to lack, men become fearful. And when men are fearful and not action doers, not men of faith, you see a lot of disconnection and unhappiness. You see families crumble. You see a lot of depression and side effects from that. So if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And that's a good way to put it. My only goal, my only wish, I would say, for you guys is that you are filled with that will. And you bring back a will to power, a spirit of power. Thumos. A spirit of power where you go out and you figure it out along the way, that there's a fire lit in you, there's a fire in your belly. Because many people these days, we don't have fire in our bellies, man. We're not really sure. We're playing it safe. We're waiting for the next, what's the news going to tell us? What's the next thing that's going on in the world? What do I need to be cautious for? So we're always kind of playing it safe and scared. But that's all noise, man. Who's telling us this? That's all noise. Anything that you want to do, you can do. And if you don't know what to do, man, look at the ways that you're unhappy and you're just dissatisfied with life. Because right there, it'll tell you, well, You're unhappy because you're single. Why are you not like taking more risk and getting these girls' numbers? Even if they reject you 100 times, why not, like, you're just gonna give up? How are you ever gonna do anything if you don't have that fire inside of you? I don't know. Any time that I've ever got out of any bad circumstance, or I've gotten anything that I really wanted, it's always been like I had a deep desire to just do it, to just figure shit out as I go along. I don't have all the answers, man, but a lot of times these guys that do have all the answers and they think all the time, they're paralyzed by that and they don't do anything. They have, dude, so many good ideas. You can write a book of good ideas. You don't do any of them because you're too stuck in your head, not enough in your spirit, not enough in the body, not enough in that let's figure it out. You are smart and intelligent. You're able to adapt and overcome along the way. There should be that in you every single day. And so what I would say is catch yourself, and this is a good way to practice. You ask yourself a simple question. Here's something I've been doing lately. Am I thinking or am I fearing? Very simple. But you train yourself to do this and things are going to start changing. Am I thinking right now or am I fearing? Am I worrying? Am I thinking or am I worrying? You start asking yourself that. You start to train your brain to turn away from worry, because the first step in training your brain is to actually catch it in the act. And so most of us are going throughout our days. We're worrying about what is happening. We're worried about paying the bills. We're worried about, are we going to be broke? We're worried about finding the right girl. We're worried about if people are going to like. We're always worrying. Many of us are worriers. And we have let go of actually thinking and introspection, which will provide many answers to your own life when you're actually thinking. Because then you can think your way to a point where all that's left to do is take action. And you come up with some things you want and then you go take action on those things. Worrying doesn't give that to you. Worrying is just like anxiety. And so when you catch yourself, this is all you do. You sit there, you say, I'm worrying. Why am I worrying? You take maybe a magnesium pill, magnesium glycinate, great stuff. Good for the body, helps relax you, gives you an overall sense of well-being. You say, right now I'm worrying, and then you sit down, and you take a deep breath. You go through your stomach. You just be present for a couple of seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and you realize it's all worry. And then you can see clearly. And when you see clearly and you're not emotional and you're not getting all those emotions flooding in, then you can start to go and think clearly and develop strategies onto what to do. But I really believe that worrying and the constant worrying that is being gifted to the world on a daily basis through the form of media, even, just through all the noise, once you shut that out, you realize there's really nothing to worry. Just look outside your house. It's not that bad. Like, are things really that bad? Is there a war that you see going on? Maybe there's a couple homeless people. I mean, maybe there's a damn, stray dog here and there. But life is pretty good. Life is pretty good. And don't make it more miserable than you need to. Because that's just cope. Again, that's just a way to kill your spirit. It says in the Bible, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He comes to steal your joy, man. And the joy is the spirit. The joy is that thing in you that can figure things out and just go forward. It's a joy to overcome trials and tribulations. It's a joy to go and meet new people. It's a joy even to be able to embrace and go in front of conflict. It's all a joy because you have that in you. But the more that you allow this into your life, the spirit just gets taken from you and your joy is gone. So I want all of us to have this, man. I want all of us to have this this willingness, this willingness in our bones, deep within, that we can. And it's just, again, it's like, if you want something, you get to do it. And if you don't like something, then start getting away from it and set a fire in your life. And if you're too comfortable, make a decision to cut, to get away from. What are you going to cut away from? You got to decide what it is that you're leaving behind, what it is you're going forward to. So I would stop and I would ask myself, am I thinking or am I worrying? Am I observing or am I obsessing? Think about it. Am I observing my surroundings? Am I seeing opportunities? Because there's a lot of opportunities out here. Or am I obsessing about these fantasies, about the future? I'm being real with you guys. Am I obsessing right now? Or am I actually observing? Am I using my God-given brain, this potential in me, to observe all of the opportunities that are around and come up with a plan? And to know that anything that you can just do it. You can do it. You can get out of poverty. You can get the woman. You can go to school. You can complete anything. You can learn skills. You can make your life great. You could change the world for the better. And you just got to know that you can do that. That's really what it starts with. You just got to know that you can do that. I mean, we waste so much time on so much stuff. I was thinking, imagine if all these red pill guys that went through their little red pill phase just use that time like trying to become wiser in some other area. If you spent that time like learning about investing, or you spent that time learning how to make money, how much better would your life be? Instead, you waste it on these things that aren't that serious. You put your time and your worth into like things that don't really matter. And it's all, again, you can have every excuse in the book, but it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And that's really it, man. So it's 2022. I hope that you guys are feeling good so far. Don't get down. Hopefully this talk inspired you just to have an honest look, have an honest look at maybe that spirit, and have some nuts, man. Scoop your nuts. SYN. Scoop those nuts. Scoop your nuts. Because anything is possible. And one decision, one courageous decision can change your life. Even when everyone else is saying how to do it, that's this and that, this is the right way to do things. Not everything is black and white. Your situation is different than everyone else's. So you have to use wisdom. I really just want you to think and understand how freaking powerful you are, dude. Seriously, you're so freaking powerful. And you have to realize that. It doesn't matter your previous failures, any regrets that you have. No, it doesn't. If you feel like you're not charismatic, maybe you're not confident, maybe you're not social, you're not gonna make it, you're not good with with anything. You don't know where to start. You start here. And you start realizing that true confidence comes from failure. It comes from taking the damn risks. So take the risk. That's the only way. It's the only way to grow. Because there is no hunt. There is no reason to hunt unless you're hungry. Okay? We don't hunt because most of us don't hunt because we got grocery stores 2 feet away from us. Most of us have so many conveniences in life that we're never going to set out. We're never going to hunt. When are we going to stop reading about this hero's journey all the time? When are we going to go on one? When are we going to do stuff that's a bit scary? Maybe make an investment here and there that's a bit scary. Maybe it's an investment in ourselves. When are we going to grab our freaking nuts, scoop the nuts, and do something that is very intimidating and that could have some bad consequences? But even then, it's fine. I'll figure it out. I'm going to figure it out as I go along. And the job that you hate, quit the job. You'll get a new job. There's plenty of jobs. Don't let anyone tell you different. You're not going to die. What's the worst? Oh, but my job, this is security. That's the thing with jobs. It is security, man. And the more that you're secure, the less that you're adventurous. The the less likely you're able to take risk and willing to take risk. And that's what it is. That spiritedness. Figure it out as you go along. Have the oomph. You know, that UMPH. Oomph. Oomph. Have that throughout your day. And conquer. Make shit happen. Okay, it takes time. You can't get impatient. That's another thing. Patience with a little bit of oomph. Slow and steady. But man, you just know. You gotta know, and you gotta know in your bones that you can make it happen. And that you're going to see it through. You're not gonna give up. You're not gonna complain. Complaining shouldn't even be allowed. Okay? So don't verbally complain ever. And when you catch yourself, you should put yourself in timeout. Okay? And you should probably beat yourself. Spank yourself a little bit. Okay? Obviously, I'm not saying to spank yourself. But you should realize you can't be complaining. When you catch yourself in that worry, am I worrying or am I thinking? Take a deep breath, bring it back. There's no reason to worry. You just need to think and see clearly. That's all. And that'll make everything clear. So that's it, man. Let's bring spiritedness back to the man, to our lives. Okay? Come join me in the group. I'm about to go and do a live talk. I'd love to talk to you guys. I'd love to get to know you. Let's make some real change within our life. I'll see you soon, boys. Hi, Thumos. Peace.